I'm Jeff.
I'm Donna.
And this is
The Meador Effect.
Out in Arizona where saguaro grow live Jeff and Donna Meador and their TV show. Talking about love and the things they do. Bringing peace and joy to people like you. It's the Meador Effect. It's the Meador Effect. It's their sincere desire to have an effect. As a matter of fact, it's the Meador Effect. It's the Meador Effect. It's the Meador Effect. It's the Meador Effect. It's the Meador Effect.
Welcome. We have a great show lined up for you today. Today we are going to be talking about a very important topic, and that topic is...
Well, the topic is how you start your day.
Yes.
But I will tell you later about waking up part of it because it's really important how we wake up. Go ahead. Talk about starting your day.
In case you haven't figured out, we were having a discussion before the camera started about, is it how you wake up or how you start your day?
Yeah, those are entirely two different things.
They are, but they are intrinsically tied together.
Yeah, and why
Yes.
why do I want to talk about waking up? I'll tell you why. Because it's not so easy for me.
Oh.
Okay, in the 90s, I had chronic fatigue. It left me with adrenal fatigue. And today, I work with a naturopathic medical doctor to work on building up my adrenals. Adrenaline is something that people take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
They think they have it all the time.
Yeah.
My attitude about how I get out of bed in the morning, it changes lives. Like it's what it's all about,
Yeah.
right? The attitude. But sometimes it's not so easy for me to actually get up.
Well, the reason that we're talking about this, as if you've been watching this show for any length of time, even one episode, you know that what we usually are talking about is long-term relationships with your spouse or significant other. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you are waking up like a grizzly bear, that's affecting your relationship.
Right. It does. Now, even though I'm fatigued in the morning, I lay there a little bit. But here's the cool part. Jeff gets up probably 1 hour, 2 hours before I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3.
Sometimes 3.
And he can pop out of bed, but still his concern, his love, his generosity for me to make sure I get out of bed in a good place matters.
Yes.
This is why I want to talk about how we wake up, because not all of us wake up on the right side of the bed, as they used to say, right?
Well, that's true. Again, she's talking about waking up. There are things that I am mindful of because I usually do get up first, that I try to be quiet. I'm not flipping lights on. I try to be, I have all my clothes. I actually put them in the other bathroom. So in the morning, I put my robe on, I go out and I just, real quiet. But one of the things that I do before I do that, Donna made a comment to me a couple of years ago, and she said, I would love our house to feel like a resort.
Oh, it's true.
And so I went, oh. And so guys, when you go into a resort, when you go into the bathroom, what's one of the first things you notice? The first thing that I notice is the toilet paper is folded over into that little pointy arrow.
I love that.
And so every morning, just about before she wakes up, I go into the bathroom and I make the little pointy arrow on the toilet paper. Now, some of you are like, okay. But the fact is, that's what ministers to her. She loves that. And guys, by the way, if you want a little tip, start trying that. You'll be surprised. She'll notice, and then she'll ask, why are you doing that? And then you can say, I just want you to feel special, like you're in a resort.
Thank you, honey.
Yes.
I actually love that. I didn't have to ask you what it was. I knew exactly what it was, and it tickles me to this day. Every single time I notice it, it's always takes me by surprise, which is really funny. You'd think I would be like used to it, but I'm not. It's wonderful, and I appreciate your waking up gently in the morning.
Yes.
Now, starting the day is also really important. How do we start our day,
Extremely
right?
important.
Waking up is one thing.
Yeah.
What do we do first? What do you do, baby? Tell everybody what you do and why you get up a few hours earlier.
Well, I start my day. I go upstairs to my office and I start the day in about an hour of meditation and prayer. And it allows me to get centered. And then also it reminds me of the people I'm praying for that who are important to me, who need prayer. It makes me feel very fortunate in many instances. So that is how I start my day. And one of the things that's always amazed me is how some people, when they wake up, they're not even out of bed yet, and they're reaching for their cell phone and they're going to their social media. A lot of people do that. And again, how you're starting your day is really going to be a huge determinant for the rest of the day. And guys, in case you don't know this, how you start your day, there's a good chance it's also going to be extremely reflective on how the night ends for you. So,
all right,
I'm just saying.
You're setting the pace for the whole
well,
day.
I am. You are. You're setting the pace for the whole day.
Yeah.
And not just in your relationship with your spouse or your significant other, but with everybody that you work with, everybody you come in contact with that day. If you are founded, if you've started your day, even if you just get on up and just read 10 pages, 5 pages of a good book. And when I say a good book, I'm not talking about a romance novel.
Right, not a novel. Big difference.
I'm talking about some type of personal development book that will help you to become the person that you really want to be.
Yeah.
So
I love that. And I'm so glad you brought all of that up, because when you leave the room and I snuggle back in and probably most times go right back to sleep.
Yeah.
What I do when I first wake up before I get up is I lay in bed and I literally just feel I just feel God's energy. I just feel the air. I feel the love. And I just remind myself of how grateful I am, how blessed I am, even to be laying on this bed, on this pillow, my favorite pillow. And I go through that before I even put my feet on the floor. Yeah. The only reason I will pick up my phone is to make sure I look at the calendar to make sure I don't have a meeting I need to be to, because I'll forget about that. But I really want to hone in on a good centered place. Yes. And as Louigina, our doggie doesn't get me out of bed sooner, I like to just relish the fact that you blessed me so much, baby, that I don't have to jump up and run anywhere. Like, it just feels so good. I can't even explain to you. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Yeah. I pinch myself every morning. Yeah.
Well, again, she starts her day in gratitude. She starts her day founded in gratefulness and gratitude. If you where do I start? I want to have a better life. Start with gratitude. Start when you get up. Start thinking about what you have, not what you don't have. Start looking at the blessings and start just saying, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I guarantee you, if you have your health, there are thousands, millions of people that would trade spots with you like that.
Yeah. Isn't that something? And we can tell you time and time again, this is not anything new that you've heard. You've had to have heard a million times over how you should start your day and what you shouldn't do to start your day. Yeah. Right? We hope this is a great reminder for you as well, and you put into action what we're saying, because it'll change the pace of your day.
Well, it'll change the pace of your life.
Yeah.
It will change the trajectory of your life.
Yeah.
Guys, I promise you, if you're waking up and you're turning on CNN every morning, that's a horrible way to start your day. There's nothing practically nothing that's ever positive. It's always doom and gloom. It's the next worst thing. It's the next catastrophe. And if that's what you're putting into your heart, your spirit, and your mind, those are going to be things that begin to dwell on you. We have somebody in our life, and if she hears something that is, it's going to happen, when they first announced that there was a coronavirus, she's on the phone to me. She knows that I'm in purchasing. That's what I do. And she's asking if I can get her some boxes of masks. And this was way before anything even came out about Corona. I mean, she's always in front of catastrophes.
Well, that's another story. But that's why we're always saying focusing on what you do want, not what you don't want.
Yes.
Don't pick up the phone and look at social media, because that's going to bring you into a place of what's going on in the environment around you. And I'm a big believer that we take responsibility for ourselves. Yeah. We can take responsibility for how we want to view our life. Yeah. We can take responsibility for what we want to think about next. And that's what it brings me to this song that you wrote. Are you going to play that? Because that was Jeff wrote a song literally within hours. Like, I can't even believe it. I don't know if you started that song last night or this morning.
I did the first 2 lines last night, and then I wrote it in about 30 minutes.
And he came downstairs before we came to the studio today and said, "Let me play something for you." And I'm telling you, folks, I got the chills. I started crying. I'm like, wow. You gonna give him a piece of it?
Well, we got through the first verse, so I'll give you what we've got. How about that?
Okay.
Oh, love this song. Love this guitar. My Martin D28, which is a gift from my best friend Ryan. Ryan, thank you for this. I play it almost every day, sir.
I want to thank Ryan for that. Thank you, Ryan.
People keep telling me what I should say. Life's getting harder with each passing day, and the days go by. The path that's before me seems hard and so long. I ask myself if it's right or it's wrong, and the days roll by.
God! Oh, that is so beautiful. I can't wait to hear the rest of it, honey.
Well, when I write it, then you'll hear it. How about that?
Wow. How'd you like that? Wasn't that great? Oh, my gosh. I love the tune. I love the words as the days roll by. And wow.
Well, for a lot of us, the days do. A lot of people are existing.
Wow.
They're not living. They're not living the life that they would really like to live. They're not really living their dreams. They gave up on their dreams a long time ago. And people now, you know what? I would even say probably a majority of people simply exist.
Yeah.
If you walk up to someone and say, well, why are you working? They'll look at you and they'll be like, well, you have to work.
Yeah.
They really don't have reason to their life. And if you want to start having a life that you've always dreamed of, then one of the important things you can do is to start your day right.
Yeah.
Which is what we've been talking about.
And you're so spot on with this, baby. Because if people really stop and think about, they're repeating their day in and day out in this routine. It's a very habitual routine.
Yep.
Many people are living a life they don't even want.
Yeah.
They're repeating the very thing they don't even want. And something came to mind when I was just thinking of this. 20 years ago, I had a boyfriend. And
Whoa.
and he went silent for about 2 weeks. Now, back in those days, it would have been called ghosting or the fadeaway or something. But that's not what he was doing. He just disappeared for 2 weeks and didn't call me and whatnot. And of course, I thought we broke up. Like, I didn't know what happened. Okay. He popped back up. But before he did pop back up, and of course, I did break up with him, gang, just in case you want to know. That was ridiculous. But I went through a period of feeling despair, and I was so upset that we were no longer together, and literally I'm walking around and this heavy cloud on me, and I'm so upset, and I'm whining and I'm crying and I'm just depressed, and all of a sudden it hit me about 4 hours later. 4 hours. What am I doing? I don't even like him. I don't even like who he is. I don't like how he's treating me.
Yeah.
I don't like, you know what? Oh my gosh, I am so over this.
So,
and like that, it went away. Like that. And when he called me back, I said, I'm really sorry, but we're not on the same page. Like, I am not going to be with somebody who thinks he can just stop talking to me for 2 weeks and then pop back up. No.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Why were you with him to begin with?
Very good question. It was a brand new, I just started dating. And he was my second date when I started dating about 20 years ago. And I didn't understand my own value, and I kept putting up with stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand my own value, my own worth. So I kept thinking I was doing something wrong. Great question. When that happened, when he disappeared for a couple of weeks, and because he was busy, whatever, and didn't think I deserved the decency of a phone call, right?
Yeah.
It took me about 4 hours to realize, you know what? What am I doing? I literally, it was a wake-up moment, gang. Wake-up moment. I bet you've had them.
We all have.
Yeah.
We've all had those. The reason I ask you that question is because, again, here's Donna. She's living a life where she's existing. She thinks she doesn't really have a whole lot of options.
Right.
Because when you are in a situation and you don't think you have a whole lot of options, guess what? You stay where you're at. And we don't have to live like that.
No.
When it comes to our relationships, has it gotten stale? Has it gotten to where it's just an existence? You guys really are almost like more like roommates,
Yeah.
with occasional benefits. Do you really want to live like that? Is that the life that you want? And so, what is one way you can change that? Exactly what we're talking about today. You make the choice. You know what?
Every morning.
Every morning.
You make the choice.
Every morning. You get up. Now, some people are not morning people. And for those of you who are not morning people, I would strongly encourage you to end your day with some quiet time, with some time of reflection.
Good.
Thinking about, by the way, I would also recommend that even for the morning people, how you go to sleep, what you're thinking about, that's what's going to be on your subconscious while you're sleeping. But especially if you're a night person, think about how you want your day tomorrow to be. Think about the person you want to be that next day.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. And if you're not a morning person, do what I do. Lay in bed.
Yeah,
Be
there you
appreciative
go.
of your pillow. Be appreciative of the bed you're in. Be
Yeah.
appreciative of the temperature in the house.
Yeah.
Those are, and that's one of the ways I start to get my adrenaline going and
Yeah.
my stimulating to get me out of bed in a good way, right? So that's really great. But I do want to brag on you for a moment, honey, because another thing that Jeff does. This is so exciting, especially in the winter. And I know we live in Arizona, but the winters are cold. I get up in the morning, and sometimes I will open my door, depending on the timing. There's a fire already set up in the fireplace. Sometimes it's already burning, and sometimes it's prepared for me to just light. Wow, that I love. I will never live in a house without a fireplace. I love a fireplace. It's just another way that you show me your love, honey, and I just so appreciate it.
Well, thank you, babe.
I love you so much.
Guys, it's really up to you what kind of a relationship that you want to have. And so many people, when they're in a relationship, they look at the other person, and it's almost like you make, and we've all been there. I've done this. I make excuses. Well, she's not doing that for me. What's she doing for me? So forget that. Is that the person you want to be? No. Is that the kind of man you want to be, that it's dependent upon how a woman basically does something for you or reacts to you? No, take charge of your life. Be the man in your life. And what does that mean? That means you think about the kind of man that you want to be and become that man. And you start by, again, we talk about this all the time on this show. Personal development is huge. Start your day with personal development of some type. Prayer, meditation, reading. If you don't know where to start, you can always go to meadoreffect.com. We have a list of books to read to help you get started in your journey of personal development.
And that does bring up a really great point. Not only do couples should not be their happiness dependent on what the other person does for them, right? That's really, really important. Too often, and I know when I was younger, I think a lot of younger couples do. They base their happiness based on what their spouse can do for them.
Yeah.
And I think you and I are at a place where we understand we do for each other because we love each other.
Yes.
We respect each other,
Yes.
and we want to see each other in a better place.
Yes.
That is amazing. And listen, it's just a great way to start the day. I mean, we go back to that again. How do you wake up in the morning? And so when you follow those little tips, you will find that things change, because at the bottom line is, no matter what's going on outside of you, you're still with you, right?
Yes.
Wherever you go, you are. So your happiness must come from within.
Now, I have learned what I'm about to say from Donna.
Oh.
I've applied this over the last 3.5 years, and it is life-changing. You bring about what you think about.
Yeah.
Whatever you're thinking about, that's where you're putting your energies. We could go into a lot of discussion on this. Be careful what you think about. There's a very, very good book that says, guard your heart, for out of it are the issues of life. It also says, guard your thoughts, guard your mind. He's constantly telling us to do those things. Why? Because what we allow in our minds, what we allow in our hearts, will make a huge difference in the outcome of our life. Now, Donna's already said it. You're not going to be happy because of somebody else. If you're not happy by yourself, you will never be happy with someone else.
We add to each other's happiness. I mean, that's what
we do.
You want to be in a relationship where somebody's adding to your happiness, right? Not taking away from it. That's the bottom line, right?
No, well, and one of our standing jokes is, who loves each other more?
Yeah, right.
And so we're always kidding around about that.
Yeah.
But it's our heart
Yeah.
to love the other. And I can do that because I love myself.
Right.
I can do that because I know that God loves me and what he's done in my life. And I can love myself because of that. And once I am free to love me, then I can really, truly love her the way that not only I want to love her, but that she wants to be loved.
True. Thank you. Yeah. Wow, that's great, honey. So
Well,
good. I hope we got some messages through to the gang today.
Yeah, I hope that something we've shared today has touched you, has ministered to your heart, to your life, to your soul, to your mind. We thank you guys so much for joining us. We know that you have a choice where you spend your time. So thank you so much for coming and spending some of your time with us. As always, it is our sincere desire that the Meador Effect have an effect on you.